They call you manipulative, conniving, possessive, but they never call you ugly.
Those are badges. I'm not gonna hold you. Those are kind of badges. Those are the badges. And once you get those badges, at least you know you're doing something right. Also, pianos making back a new video we're watching. 7 levels again, no bitch. Apparently, some of y'all, some of us, we both don't ain't no bitches. I'm gonna give you a little method. All you gotta do is click the like, comment, subscribe button at the top right of your screen. Appreciate you. How y'all doing? Run the video.
You think to yourself, damn, where did it all go wrong? Maybe you spent your youth watching Twitch streamers, YouTubers.
Is that
Maybe
wrong?
you schizoed out watching outright content. Maybe you became a social justice warrior and said that women are equal to men. Maybe you had low self-esteem.
Huh? What kind of video am I about to watch, gang?
Maybe you thought you were ugly. Whatever the reason, the fact of the matter is you finished high school without getting laid. And this made you feel some type of way.
That's normal.
Eureka type realization, but rather a slow, crippling decay of your psyche that ate away at you, as everyone around you seemed to be.
I firmly stand by the fact that like the best time to actually like lose your virginity, to say the least, probably has to be somewhere between 17 and 20, bro. After 20, maybe you're a little cooked. But honestly, before 17, I highly don't do nothing like that in high school, especially. Just do it when you get to university, bro. Do it when you get to college. You got your whole life ahead of you. And
their
bro,
first love, or their summer fling, or the one that
don't even
got
worry
away,
about it.
And you have nothing to add to the conversation. And that isn't the worst part. The worst part is you don't even know where to start. You feel that you missed out on these developmental milestones. So
you didn't.
For help is out of the question because you don't want them to think you're autistic, even though they probably already think you are. And so you sit there on a Friday night on your PlayStation and scroll through Instagram while you see other people in your high school post vacation pics to either Italy or Japan. One of them is engaged because they're Mormon. This other guy gets a new girl every month? Damn. I want her.
Social media doesn't exist. Y'all are trying to force yourselves into being who you're not. You don't have to worry about certain things, especially at a certain age. I would say if you never had sex before past 24, you might have a problem. Before that, you're fine. You're literally fine. Don't even think too much about it. You're literally fine, bro.
Your confusion as to why you get no bitch is answered through a random Reddit post where the anonymous user starts complaining on r/life or some other generic subreddit about how no girl has ever loved him, people are mean to him, and he feels unseen and lonely. The top comments will always say, "That's not true, people love you, I love you," and the original poster comments, "Thank you, this means so much to me." But out of curiosity, you decide to sort by controversial, and you see the comments that people are downvoting saying, "Oh, this guy's probably ugly," or "Oh, he probably doesn't look that good," or "Oh, he doesn't realize it's over for him yet," which leads you down a rabbit hole of where these terminologies and viewpoints came from until you eventually discover incel forums. These incel forums are revolutionary because of how seemingly accurate it describes the no bitch getting experience down to little details that normal people.
No, please don't fall into this. If y'all get anything from my content, I don't think anyone who ever watches me could ever be an incel. That's all I'm saying. And there's different types of them, bro. You just try not to fall into anyone, bro. Just understand, live life for what it is, bro.
One example that I love a lot is the term gesture maxing.
What I mean?
Which entails a man acting in an entertaining, amusing, or unnatural way to elicit or maintain female.
You can be funny if you're actually funny.
Accepted in a group. Most of the
but
time,
don't force
this fails.
it.
But if they do get accepted into the group, they just become the circus clown everyone picks on whenever they need a quick laugh. When the gesture master brings this up with the group and says something along the lines of, "I don't really feel that you guys like me very much," he gets gaslit by the group into a false sense of security when they say, "Oh my god, no, we care about you," only to be bullied once again because of his behavior. Every failure you experience in your come up and the reason.
Don't take yourself for granted. That's normal. Just don't be funny, but like understand where people are like taking advantage of you, bro.
Stated clearly in these forums. But most importantly, the reason this group of people appeals to you is because you feel seen. Even when the whole world gaslights you by telling you to take a shower and get a haircut, you know the truth. The reason you were that awkward weirdo at the party with the red cup in your hand that everybody ignored was because you're chopped. Your genetics are deficient. The wrong sperm won the race. If only you were 6 months with a positive cantal tilt, bitches would magically appear on your dick. But you're not. And there's plenty of people that aren't either. And they're your friends. And that's what makes these incel groups so powerful and so beautiful.
No.
If you're lucky and you're not hideously ugly, a girl might find you in your incel stage and take a liking to you because she thinks you're quirky or something. She might give you your first kiss. She might give you a blowjob. She might even take your V card. But because of how scary to the hoes you are at this level, she will
No,
leave you.
oh, no. That's why you gotta experience. You gotta experience this when you're like a little kid, because you can't. No, you can't be this type of nigga at 24. You can't. This is why you can't have your first body at 24, high key. Yo, cause this is how you fall for it. There's traps, bro. This is the trap, and I already seen it. Bro.
To which you might change and become better, or you might also stay at the incel level and never replicate the results again. But for those that do change, you become a simp. When she leaves you because you can't get your act right, you cling onto her, sometimes forever, because of your previous depravity and the fear of being alone again. And you start thinking you can never pull another girl again. So you send walls of text to her, flowers, maybe even stand outside her window with a speaker above your head.
Speaker's
saying,
crazy.
when a good thing goes bad, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. But she's still.
But at the end of the day, you gotta realize, especially if it's like your first, second relationship, regardless of how old you are when you get it, bro, it's probably gonna happen. You just gotta get that out the way, bro. And honestly, if you feel like you're in that situation where like, bro, you're clinging on to this girl so much, I promise you, you just probably just have to leave that relationship or reset, do it again. And you will do it again. You might think it might be difficult. You might think you might not find someone as pretty or as interesting as her. I promise you, another one is probably better out there for you, bro. More to your liking. And you just gotta go out and find it. But yeah, that's like normal. That's normal, but it's like you shouldn't be having that when you're like older, bro. Cause that the consequences of having that when you're older is a lot more than when you're like a minor, bro. You know how much money I would have lost if I had my first girlfriend at like 24 and I had money on me. Oh my god, bro, I would have been just on the hook.
Anymore. You tell all your friends that women are bitches, bro. And at this point, you truly believe that because you think if you correct your previous misogyny somehow, that girl will see good in you and like you again. She won't. This is also the level that nice guys operate in. Even stalkers as well. Guys that think that being nice to the girl, whether their intention is good or bad, will get them nyash. And when the girl calls him about her breakup with her boyfriend, he says, "No!
How could he?
How could you let him manipulate you again?"
No!
It's that friendship by asking her out.
And then she says no. She says
if you're
no.
lucky enough and enough time passes and somehow you find the will to move on from your first breakup, you become what I call a normal person. It's a feeling you get when you wake up and don't feel any weird sensation striking your heart when you think about things. You feel a peace of sorts as you tend to your garden. To test this, you look at the girl you fumbled's Instagram and you feel nothing. It's liberating. Congratulations.
Well, yeah, you might not feel. It might just feel a little bit of resentment. But honestly, as long as it's not like, as long as you can say her name and not have any thoughts behind your mind, bro, you're fine.
You're a normal person now.
You're
At
good.
this point, you probably are going to the gym, taking looks maxing advice seriously, maybe socializing a little bit better, not with girls of course, but with other normies that are also scared to talk to girls like you.
Okay.
Though you still find yourself being a little awkward and uncomfortable in social situations.
Fair.
All your normie friends gas you by saying you get bitches because of how good your physique is becoming, and you
Fair.
feel good about it, but your DMs are still dry. At this stage, you're probably not
Normal.
even thinking about girls that much. Maybe you partook in No Nut November to cleanse your mind. You might even think getting a girl now is bad. Instead, you should improve yourself and read Atomic Habits or the Laws of Human Nature.
No.
You might start thinking that relationships will come naturally as you live your life.
No. Don't do that.
But you feel that you're still missing something. You look at all the self-improvement YouTubers that seem
Yeah, don't. Oh my God, do not fall into the self-improvement. Like some of them are actually so like beyond me. Don't fall into this level of content. Don't fall into the deep depravity content where it's like they're convincing you the reason you don't get bitches is because you're ugly. And don't fall into like the overly depraved. How do I describe it? The ones who tell you this is how you do this, looks maxing, fitness maxing, or whatever, all that content. Don't fall into none of that. Be a normal person. Read Atomic Habits, but don't follow none of its advice. In my opinion, I don't know. I've never read that book. I read like 2 chapters. Good book, just for a story. I'm not reading that for no advice, cause it's corny, and I'm not gonna live my life by some like 48 Laws of Power. Atomic Habits is a good book. Wait, never mind. Spin back on that thought. I read Atomic Habits. It's actually a good book. Not 48 Laws of Power though. No, don't read that. Don't read that.
And you want to be like them. You want to live their life. You want to be in their yacht. You want to get rich quick. You want all the bitches they got. so you follow their advice. You try your best to be a social butterfly like all the self-improvers tell you to do. You show you can talk to anyone. You show you're confident. You don't stutter. You hit the club, get bitches. Maybe these days you're not so religious, you have a hoe phase, and your normie circle eats it up. They gas you up like a big bro. You walk a little taller, you laugh a little louder, and you say your name a little prouder. Maybe you start getting hoes. Maybe your body count reaches satanic levels. You're a certified boy now.
I thought these were the levels of getting no bitches, but now you have bitches. I guess, following their advice kind of worked out for you, didn't it? I guess it kind of did. Well,
see other bitches. You break hearts and backs. You drive a used 2011 BMW with upgraded rims. They call you manipulative, conniving, possessive, but they never call you ugly.
Those are badges. I'm not gonna hold you. Those are kind of badges. Those are the badges. And once you get those badges, at least you know you're doing something right. You know you're doing something right. But please don't become evil. I feel like he's about to get evil, bro. My fault.
You think you know how women work.
Enlightenment. You realize it's not worth it?
Work. Well, not the ones you want. Not the ones that get away. Not the ones that when they leave, you go back to being a hoe to distract yourself. But it's not the same. The good ones go. The good ones go if you wait too long. So you should go. You should go before you stay too long.
Okay, bro.
The reason you get all these other hoes, but not her, is because you still don't understand how it all works. You set too many rules for yourself. From the way the world treated you when you were young, to the way the incel and red pill forums wrote your gospel, to the way the alphas you watch on YouTube that only flex the mid-white girls that are hoeing. You only saw what was possible. But if you're lucky, you'll realize that maybe it isn't about precisely what you say, what you do, how you act, how much you can bench. If a girl likes you, she likes you.
Literally,
if she doesn't
bro.
like you, she doesn't like you. And that all
Literally,
you need to do
bro.
is to be normal and cool, and you'll have everything you ever wanted. From learning to be yourself without any asterisk or gesture maxing or bench pressing or whatever your Bugatti color is. If you're lucky, you'll pull a nice girl that you like. No gimmicks, no crazy first texts or pickup lines that impress her. You make a girl you like you, just by being normal and cool. You realize by just doing that, everything will work itself out. There's no reason for you to flex your 2011 BMW with upgraded rims. She doesn't care. All she cares about is you, and you let yourself care about her. Because you're just a guy, and she, underneath that beautiful sundress that you swear was made for her and only her, as well as the cute dimple she develops when she smiles, is just a girl.
That sounds like so sad. Something about hearing she's just a girl just makes me feel like it's about to, you're about to fall back into that hole, bro. Fuck. I keep going to drink.
But if you're lucky, she switches up on you for no reason. You did everything you could. You were a good lover. You were nice to her. You never cheated, even though you could have. But sometimes a bitch is a bitch and a hoe is a hoe, and they switch up. After all,
they do. They really do. And you just gotta understand you don't need her, bro. Fuck. It's so true, bro. It's so true, bro.
these are people too. And when y'all break up, yeah, you're sad, but you don't crash out like you did with that one bitch you was with in level 3.
Literally, bro.
Instead, you think to yourself, damn, and move on to the next.
Move
shawty.
on.
You love that next shawty the best you could as well.
Mm-hmm.
She loves you too. You can never recapture the highs, even though she's bad. And on top
of that first ever one. Oh my god. And you know what? As long as you're fine with yourself, it doesn't matter how many long-term relationships you have to go through. The one does not exist. I might need 5. I said it. I have one. I've been said this. I've been said this for like the past year now. I got one more relationship left in me. And from then on, I'm running the DiCaprio method for the rest of my life. If this last relationship I get into does not work out, I'm getting married, and at the most inconvenience, I'm leaving that marriage. I'm not staying forever, bro. You're not gonna force me to do what I don't want to do. You're not gonna inconvenience me for the rest of my life because you're upset. And I'm not going to be sad about it.
But
that should be how we all live, bro.
So y'all break up too. And you do this with the next shawty, and the next shawty, and the next. You do this enough times and eventually you reach levels of clarity that only Drake has reached. Not the Marvin's Room or Hungry Drake that we all miss dearly, but the aging superstar Drake that's fumbled some of the baddest women in the world. What's Bella Hadid when you fumbled Rihanna? What's Rihanna when you fumbled Jennifer Lopez? What's the difference between all of them and the porn star you knocked up to make Adonis? It's all the same for real. Some shotties are just prettier to look at.
It's all the same, bro.
Most. But at this stage, you're not really that hurt because you know it's come and go. While all my tears work, it's been a decade since I cried. I got no dog left in the fight.
This song's crazy, bro.
Maybe you'll stunt on these hoes by making a necklace out of 42 engagement rings to represent the 42 times you thought about proposing to different women but decided against it. Maybe you only call women bitches because the bitches loved it. Maybe you and your old man get fucked up every night and he says, son, these hoes just don't love you. And you say, I'll keep that in mind. Then you see the shawties you used to fuck with get married and pregnant and have kids and be happy.
And you feel nothing.
You start thinking to yourself,
was it me?
Where did it all go wrong?
Was it me? But it wasn't you. Yo, you don't even have to be worried about that, bro. That's actually crazy. And that's actually kind of true, bro. Yo, don't even worry about no girl in your life, bro. You got all the things you need to be successful with you right now. So don't even stress about it, bro. That being said, great video. Like, comment, sub if you already mess with it. See you on the next one.